but still trying to figure how to.
Yes, everyone be nice.
Yeah, I guess.
I'll let you introduce yourself first.
So I'm Farinz. I am, I guess, an editor slash entertainer slash movie maker now recently, starting with this project. I have this, let's call it, passion for Team Fortress 2 since 2013 around, I think. Actually, this passion actually started because of the Gmod videos they used to make at the time. I don't know why it started to get my attention, and I got curious to try the game. Actually, it coincided with the time I think they put the game free. That's when I downloaded it and started to play.
Well, I guess we could start with something simple. Just pick from my list. I'm not sure really what could be considered simple here. I guess a good one is, you said you have a very big passion for Team Fortress 2. So why Spy is as your mascot?
I don't know. I guess first because of the persona he is. When you see those meet the team, meet the spy. When I saw that video, I got fascinated. When I started to play Team Fortress 2, well, I tried most of the classes, and the one that really, let's say, put up an interesting challenge was the spy. I don't know very well how to explain it, to be honest. I guess just a challenge to, to sneak around the other team and, to sabotage, to, kill key players, I guess.
Yeah.
And as well as the engineers' builds, poor guys. It's one of my favorite things to it. It's when people are trolling engineers. I don't like it when they do that to me, I'll be honest with you. When I'm an engineer and they do that to me, I get crazy, like, someone help me. But, it's still fun stuff to do. That's it, I guess. Persona mixing with the skills they have in the game. That will be my resumed answer.
I feel like that's a lot of people's reason, Spy is definitely a character I feel like you either really relate to, like you can really feel how it feels to be Spy, or you just don't like him at all.
Yeah, it's true. It's I guess it's a love or hate relation. No, you're right about that. But I think I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I think most people like Spy than hate him. Well, especially I guess if you're a spy, you love it. If you're not a spy, if you're using something else, you hate any spies that are in the game. Well, except the obvious ones.
Yeah, that's probably right. So, I guess a good place to start with the more meaty subjects is how you actually met NISLT.
Well, it's a very simple story. So, I started to watch NISLT channel. I enjoyed that channel very much. It's very entertaining. It was a lot of fun. So I decided myself to one day make an edition myself using the same methods, the same ways of editing. Sorry, I'm telling my words here.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to reach the words. Anyway, so style, yeah, that's it. So using the same style as he was using, I decided to make myself a video, which I can send you later if you want to share with people. And I sent it to him like, okay, let's see if he actually checks. For my big surprise, he actually saw the video and replied to me, like saying, wow, you have some interesting style, like. And we started to chat via email, just saying. It went to a point that he asked me, "Would you like to join me?" And edit for me. I froze for a few seconds, and I even pinched myself. Is this real? Is he asking me this? No, this can't be. I think I only realized when he added me on Steam. My God, this is real. I was so surprised. I was very surprised and very happy for him to give me this opportunity. So yeah, it started from there. He, of course, in the beginning, I had to understand exactly what he needed for the videos, and from there, it was a matter of getting used to just to trying to use my own style, but also following the channel programs, let's say.
Yeah. Well, I guess, I don't know. I don't know really what I expected to hear. Just some epic fantasy tale of how you managed to meet him or whatever. But, it's always nice to hear that people can connect in this community so easily through common interest.
Sorry, I think I heard you cutting. Say again?
It feels so nice to know that people can connect with these common interesting.
Oh yes,
you know what I mean.
Yeah. Sometimes it's more simple than we think. I guess if someone sees potential in you, they will eventually try to help you. Now, in this case, it's an editing world. It's in the end, we want to help people, to make people laugh during the day. That's our main. It was always our main goal in the channel, and I think we've made it for quite some time. So it was a very interesting experience.
Well, I can tell you from my point of view, I don't know exactly when you kind of joined him and when you started, but I always found his videos very entertaining to watch.
I actually joined him. Actually, that's a very good question. I know because I can't remember if it was 2015 or 16. It was around there. Which was still at the time his channel was pumping up a lot. With good material, good editing. Of course, sometimes it's not very easy to keep up. Which in this case we will go to the TF2 theme. It's because we're talking about a game that has 10 years. For a game, it's a lot.
It is. It really is.
But yet, it's a game that managed to keep up with time. Because it was a very unique game. I think I'll be honest with you, I'm a bit ignorant about some past games, but Team Fortress 2 managed to make this first-person shooter with classes that have their weakness and their strength varied, plus making interesting characters. Hence, in my opinion, the importance of those how to meet videos that gave a persona. So,
yeah,
joining that with the particular skills of every class, and then it's fun to watch I prefer to, like you said, prefer to be a spy. Someone else prefers to be heavy, etc. Joining that in this wonderful experience of TF2.
Yeah. Well, concerning your latest project that you have just recently teased, I can guarantee you a lot of people are really curious, including me. Is there any possible little teasers I can get out of you here?
Yeah, what can I say about the movie? So, starting from the beginning, that puts down the video description. I started this project 2.5 years ago, 2016. Yeah, during summer. I remember I started to write this. I can tell you this movie is going to be. This I can tell you to everyone that is going to be close to 1 hour or at least 1 hour.
My.
Because we're talking. Also, I'll tell you why. I started to write this, and then I thought to myself, "Nah, this is okay. This is like 15 minutes maximum, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. It's still a lot.
Yeah.
But it's not 1 hour." Then I realized, when I started to see, and another thing, this was meant to be only one animator because I wasn't thinking a big project. So when unfortunately the animator couldn't help me, that's when I decided to search for more animators to help. But I didn't want like a random one. I wanted someone that knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
I don't want to say names now because I want to keep that as a surprise.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, we're talking about people that everyone, not everyone, but you all know them for sure. You already know the guy. One of them is Peyton Tate.
Yeah.
He made the teaser. He participated as well. But currently, I have 28 animators that worked on this.
Oh my.
That are new. Yeah. Without counting the voice actors as well. And what can I say? I'm a bit sorry. Sometimes I get lost here. The movie, yeah. I can tell you, I tried to use as much as possible the NISLT channel history. So trying to use the gags, trying to use some how to say, the particular videos that's kept in the memory of people that are most talked about. And I tried to make a history that would make sense, I can tell you it has comedy, it has action, it has touchy moments. Those are the three main keys for this movie. Yeah, I think that's it. More than that, I don't want to tease.
No, yeah, don't tease anymore. Good surprise.
Yeah, the rest will be a surprise, for sure.
I can definitely tell you, my friend sent me the link to the video, and I'm like, what is this? And then, because he sent me first a screenshot of his comment, said, 2 years passes and I'm coming back from the grave, why not, And it's like, oh my goodness,
Well, actually, Sin is last time absent. Because I started to write this movie while the channel was still active. Then it happened. When it happened, that he went absent. That's where I was really committed to finish the movie in honor to him, to everything he has done for the community, and to make people's everyday a bit more enjoyable.
Yeah. So I guess just a little bit of clarification. Will we be seeing a rise in content from him again, or is that all still up in the air that you don't know?
That's something.
Can you not even say?
I'm not sure. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I know he wants to. It's his wish, but it's something that I guess he will need to prepare himself to how to come back, I guess. And he is. I guess he will try to figure what will be the best way to do so.
Right.
Because there's, if you check the comments, there's a lot of people they want to either like an explanation why he went absent, or if he's not going to come back, to an explanation as well from that. There's a lot of expectation after his comments.
Yeah, and I feel like people kind of hold this expectation of, you were gone for 2 years, what's the big deal, huh? And, sometimes it just isn't what people think it should be. And I feel like it's almost this case with him. Because I remember the first time he went absent and then came back, it was he never elaborated, but it was like some kind of family, and he was moving and YouTube and all that stuff. But
yeah, it's true. He does share a lot of his private life affairs to also to make people understand what he's going through. So he cares a lot about his community, his subscribers and his fans. That's why he likes to give them a lot of explanation, and that's why as well he maybe doesn't know how to return right now.
And it makes a lot of sense. You don't want to return and disappoint everyone. You want to be able to grip people the same way you did years ago.
Of course, yeah, that's a thing. That's it's let's say a sensitive subject, but I know I'll keep talking with him and see. Well, whenever I can help, of course, I will as well. I guess people just need to. I think people understand. I remember it happened something like that to Lazy Purple.
Yeah.
And he went absent as well for a long time. Then he came back full strength. He's making again amazing videos. Maybe. How to say, channels with almost daily content. The people behind them, they need their break. If not, it's a lot to take.
Yeah, and I feel like it could almost be draining working on the same kind of content overall for just years on end, and that break is well appreciated.
It's true. Not only the content, which is always the same. That's something as well we try to talk about. If NISLT channel could do something else apart from Team Fortress 2, I'll be honest with you. For me, I am in favor of that. I don't think it's bad if he would try to put another games as long as he would keep Team Fortress 2, because in the end it still has a very interesting community and people with interest in the game.
I do feel like there's definitely a tendency for, especially Team Fortress 2 content creators, to add more content to their cycle of what they do. I remember Soundsmith is a particular example. He was talking about how the TF2 content creators, including himself, were always so just hesitant to do something different. And I feel like the best example I could do is the Overwatch thing. Another TF2 YouTuber's doing Overwatch content. Yeah. It's a stigma that personally I don't think should exist, because it's very closed-minded, and it's also bad for the people who create the content.
It is, and I can understand the passion, but I cannot understand the respect they have towards those people. It's their channel, they do whatever they want. I understand if you get disappointed, because maybe they think they will never again do Team Fortress 2 videos, but you have to move on, move on in the way. In my opinion, there shouldn't be any extremes. There should be only how to explain. Sorry, I'm having again mixed thoughts here. It's a weird subject, because I don't know. I hope you got this part, because I'm really trying to figure out what.
Yeah. People who make this kind of content always should want to branch out, especially if it's very selective content. I could get the people who do this stuff on the side, it's never a priority, but people who make this their job, they slave over this stuff, and it can result in burnouts. People can just get bored of what you make, and for people to come at you and criticize you in such an unconstructive manner simply because they don't like what you make anymore, I just jumped into content creation as of late, and I can only imagine how much that can tear you down. your morale and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. Even though if they don't show, because, well, yeah, that's another thing. I mean, they cannot show that they are angry or sad about something. I remember this particular case where Sin, well, I don't know if you ever saw that video. There was this, let's say, hacking video that we, actually I was the one that edited it. We tried to ridicularize the hacker, but honestly, it had the exactly opposite effect, and people did not like it. I mean, I understand, because they were, I mean, they thought we were trying to publicize the hacking, but it doesn't even make any sense. Why would we want to publicize something? We were trying to just ridicularize. It reminds me of those situations where Comedy Man, he makes this offensive joke.
Yeah.
And people don't start to leech him. It was the same, and all this to say that it really affected Sin. He was really upset about this whole situation, until it went to a point that I said, look man, just remove the video, there's no point, people are at, and I mean, it's frustrating to me to say that to him. It was very frustrating, because I understand how he felt, but
you know, and
we had to see both parts, I guess. In the end, the respect for the community prevailed more, and well, yeah, the video was moved.
Yeah, I think I do remember what you're talking about, and was it the whole thing where King Raja then came out with that video that he released that kind of just ridiculed your name and the channel? And you know, I'm not sure, was that the same incident? But I'm not sure.
No, that Raja thing was another. It was already way after the hacking thing. It had nothing to do.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. I'm trying to remember what exactly he said, but it was such a long time ago that I just remember I unsubscribed to him, because honestly, treating someone that helped you, that gave you lots of help to raise your channel, treating him like that, it's someone that doesn't really deserve respect.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll say about that.
You know, personally, when that ordeal, when that all happened, I thought you guys were in the right. When I watched the video, I didn't agree totally with how it played out. I'm trying to remember actually what the entire video, it was like 2 years ago, but you know, I feel like there were both sides of the playing field had good points, but the way he presented his opinion was quite unprofessional, and the criticisms he had were more opinion-based, in my opinion, ironically enough. But, you know, I can understand, you want to appeal to all kinds of content, and I feel like something that's funny is completely subjective, and clearly you guys had a great idea, and it just came off the wrong way, and I don't... Yeah. It's dumb that you guys have to face all this ridicule for something you didn't really even mean to do.
Yeah, exactly. It's in this kind of, how to say, in this kind of shows, it's always a very sensitive matter. If you want to make something funny, you always have to sometimes double think on what you're doing to understand if you're affecting something. Yeah, that wasn't at all our goal to glorify hacking. We despise it, completely despise it. We just wanted to make comedy out of it. And it's, as you said, came out the wrong way. And in the end, we decided to take it out.
Yeah.
Actually,
what?
Actually, now that you mention it, I remember that the hacking site, they even put the video on their website. The guy whoever made this hacking, he put it on his website, and that was the last straw as well.
That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, we understood it also that it was very bad publicity, and it was just a no-go, red flag.
Yeah, I don't know. People are very soft sometimes, I feel, and when something tries to come off as comedy, and I know comedy is very subjective, and that's what you always have to be careful for when you make some kind of things like this, but I don't ever remember there being an intent that you supported the idea, and I would never have accused you unless it was blatantly said, and it's just, people blew it out of proportion then past that, and it's like, what do you do after that?
I mean, there's not much you can do. You just have to move on. Apologize. The apologies, we meant it because we, as I said, we didn't want to prejudice anyone. And then you just have to keep doing what we have been doing before, trying to keep entertaining people.
Exactly. Because that's what you're there to do.
Exactly. That was our goal in the first place. I mean, after that incident, it's especially on Reddit, people still. It's unbelievable. People still didn't forget that episode. And I don't know. It's been such a long time ago, and we learned from our mistakes. That's something that should be stressed, and that will never happen again. I mean, any hacking video or even exploits. The exploits we went to face only after they fixed the exploits. We would edit them and put on the channel, but I don't think at this point now I think he doesn't want even to do that.
And I can understand the hesitance there, because after all the backlash you get, you look at the topic in a different way. You think to yourself, am I going to get the same backlash, or I want to deal with it? And, I remember Delphi got caught up in that whole situation, and personally, I don't approve of his channel necessarily, and the way he handles things. He's moved on from that kind of content a little more, but he still makes it. It was worse before, but, there's a huge difference, and people were comparing both of you to, the most similar degree, and you can't do that. It was one video.
Exactly. No, I mean, that was the hacking one was the worst one, but the exploits, yeah, I mean, there were some exploit videos, but not to the point, not at the same degree as Delphi's. No, comparing both channels, it's not fair, because one isn't. I mean, they're both entertaining, but one is. In our case, we were more focused in the gameplays, the funny ones, the funny stuff. That was it.
Yeah. When you make that kind of content, at least today, I feel there's so much more hesitance. And people, as the community's evolved, people look at exploiting and hacking a completely different way. And I feel like that when all that stuff happened, that was kind of what kick-started that whole movement of don't do this, it's dumb. And it's a good thing. Definitely, I at least think, because I see nobody talking about it, that, these exploits, I rarely see it anymore, and it's a good thing.
It's good, because in the end, that's what, games, you want to play them to have a good time, to relax. You don't want to, get upset because someone is trying to be a funny guy using those kind of exploits or hacking, just ruining everyone else's experience. I don't even know in the first place why you would try to just be just ruin people's. I guess it's that's it. The very immature people that play it. Yeah, there's no fun on it. That's all.
Yeah, the amount of times I've just seen people who cheat and say, I cheat because it's fun. You know, it's like, I don't buy it at all. It's, you cheat because you either are quite incompetent at the game, or you just hate yourself, honestly. It's like, what else do you say? You just,
One of
like...
both. No, that's true. Actually, you know, after some time when I started to play TF2, there was this. I had one invitation to. He asked me, "Hey, you want to do exploits?" I was like, "What the hell is that?" I didn't know at the time. And he says, "Oh, you just have to be here and do this and that. It will be fun." I was like, "Okay." Actually, the video exists somewhere, but it was the only time I participated in something like that. And then after that, I was like, no, this is stupid.
Yeah.
There's no point on this. Why?
Yeah. It takes advantage of something so simple and ruins it for everyone.
Yeah. Unfortunately. But yeah, to be honest, Team Fortress 2 is it's a lot of. Every update, they always have this problem with the exploits. It's ridiculous. It's a shame. I mean, I'm not a programmer or a game developer, but, and I honestly don't know. I mean, I haven't heard any other game that has this many problems. Maybe there exists, but I just don't know it.
Yeah, they're not as streamlined as TF2.
Yeah.
And it is a shame, too. I feel like a lot of it has to do with they put a lot of time and resources into developing these updates, but they don't put as much time back into checking and bug fixing, so they kind of rely on the community to find it and then patch it.
Yeah, it's true. They became lazy.
Yeah.
Because in the end it was Team Fortress 2 and Portal, I think, you know, that the Half-Life, that gave the necessary boost for Valve to create this monopoly. I mean, now they just basically sell the games. They don't need to do anything else.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because they made very unique works of art. I wish they would continue. And I wish that they would do something about Team Fortress 2 because it's, it's one of those, it's kind of like, maybe, not even the same, like Counter-Strike 1.6. It's one of those classics. There will always be people to play it.
Yeah.
That I'm sure. And I'm actually happy for that. It deserves.
You know, and a good example of that is the recent release of Artifact. You know, it was received horribly when it was announced. People were like, give it a chance. And when it finally released, you know, there was some hype surrounding it. You know, people were excited to give it a try. And then the game has like an average of like 6,000 people who play it by hour. And it's kind of sad, especially because TF2 has like 20,000 average players. And yeah, and you know, it baffles me why Valve doesn't recognize this. Why don't you put more time and resources into this game that's clearly doing much better than a game you worked on for years and was horribly received? Yeah,
I think they just, as you said, they just left it to the community. You know, they are too busy to manage the all the other things from the platform. It's in the end, you know, it's always about money, I guess.
You're right.
It's always about money, and they are very well with money now. They just don't care as much as before.
Yeah,
this is a shame.
It really is. Oh my! Well, we streamed very far past movie teasers, so
yeah.
On the on the topic of TF2 though, it's 2019. Who would have guessed? So TF2, a lot of people have pretty high expectations this year because we didn't get anything last year, aside from that March update that really wasn't an update, but it was, you know, that weird thing. But I'm not sure how much you play TF2, but you gotta want something. So what do you want?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question.
Well, I guess I probably should have phrased that better. I'll just read it from the list.
It's because the microphone cut it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but pretty much, what are your personal wants and needs for TF2 this year?
Oof, difficult question. I'll be honest with you. Due to my I had some very busy months lately, and my time for Team Fortress 2 has been. No, actually, the last time I played was October. Although I miss it a lot. As soon as I have everything reestablished, I want to play it again because it's basically the game I have played the most in my, I will say, life. about 3,000 hours or something. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's a lot. I know there's people with 10,000 or more. My God. I don't know, because as you said, this last year it was very poor in updates. I mean, zero.
Yeah.
At this point I don't know what are they planning to do with the game, or if they just leave it like that, and do once in a while some fixes and that's it. I think it's a tendency that will keep, unfortunately. I don't know, unless someone buys the game and tries to make something out of it.
Yeah.
Which is an utopia. It's what happened. I don't think it will happen. My wants, however, for the game is, it's maybe to review some of the weapons. I remember when I started to play exactly with the spy, I used to use a lot the Dead Ringer, but now and I stopped using it as from the last nerf they made it to it, which is I don't know. For me, it became uncomfortable to play with the Dead Ringer. Plus, other weapons from the other classes, like let me see if I remember. There was this. What was it? Demo. I think the demo one. Yeah, the demo one. You have the. Sorry, I'm a bit forgotten here. The direct hit. No, that's first.
The lock and load?
Yeah, you have the lock and load. Yeah, exactly. It's used. Okay, it only has only 3. You can do 3 shots possible before reloading. The thing is the damage. It went back to. It was nerfed, I think, to the same damage level as the.
Yeah, the stock.
As the default, yeah. Oh god, you see so much time. So how long I haven't played that, I keep forgetting this. I remember I used that a lot before because it was it was a powerful weapon. And it makes sense because you kind of need some, how to say, skill. I think it will be a little lynched saying this. For the luck alone, at least you needed some skill.
Yeah.
It's not a weapon that it will only explode if you hit someone. And for that, you need to be
quite accurate.
Decent with it. Yeah, quite accurate. I remember as well. I think from the pyro. There's something about the update I didn't like. What was? Yes, the degreaser. Gee, I was so depressed with the nerf damage. Jesus Christ, man! So the degreaser, that was the weapon I used the most. Because I used the degreaser, and I used the a melee gun. He used the not the axe.
The extinguisher.
Maybe the extinguisher. It was one that you were able to do critical hits. You burn someone and then you use the melee weapon and it makes a critical.
Yeah, that was the extinguisher.
Yeah, it was the extinguisher and also the flare gun.
That was like the pyro loadout.
Yeah. That for me, maybe even more depressing than the spy nerf was that one. I used to love the degreaser so much. It was very fun to use, very practical. well, it's those kind of things, you know. That
Yeah.
for me, they shouldn't be touching. They should review some of the weapons, some of the nerfs. I agree. I honestly don't remember any buff right now. If you remember any, let me know, because maybe I want to comment about it. Just
Well,
anyway, yeah.
right now, I guess the one that I can think of, the lock and load, that has not been changed since Meet Your Match. I believe that's when they changed it. Its damage bonus to buildings only. And, you know, it's a great anti-engineer weapon. And then I look at weapons like the direct hit that piss me off to no end, because you could just get one shot if you're anywhere near them. And it also does bonus damage to buildings, which I don't think it should have, but it does. So, you know, everyone's gonna have their little gripe with just weapons they think are dumb, and that's mine. But
see, I did the right side. Move. It's not a weapon I used a lot, to be honest. I was a bit noob. Still am. The soldier. Yeah, the soldier. It's I guess it's the class is easier to use when you start. It's because it's the most close you get to from other first-person shooters. Maybe I'm not making sense. Anyway.
No, I know what you mean.
Continuing. Yeah, I'm reading here the topics actually. Creative process editing style. We didn't speak about that one. Or did we?
No, actually, you alluded to it from the first question when I asked you about how you started working with him and all that. If you want to actually allude on that, go ahead.
No, I was actually thinking something else. The creative process. Maybe just the order I do things. I guess like. I just think. I mean, every video has their own particularity. My most famous one is the Bussex one.
Yeah.
That one was like. It was so random. I remember I was watching the footage and I was like, this is too funny to be a simple montage. I want to do something else. And I started to think, what can I put here? And I went searching on YouTube and I saw the very famous Bussex music. I was like, oh yeah, this is the stuff. I'm gonna do this. And I did. My God, it was. When I finished editing, I was replaying for myself, and I was always laughing all the time. Like, this is so stupid, it's funny. And Sin loved it, and it began the legend.
Yeah.
Bussex look.
Very, very iconic. You definitely you turned that into your own thing, and I remember. I can't exactly remember which video it was. I believe it was the one where you took all of Sin's competitive clips and you made that its own thing, and it was always that running gag, you did something and then he kicked your ass, and I found that so funny, and it was really clever, and it made it even better that it was animated.
Yeah, yes, it was. Yeah, the animation one was with Viking Skirts, the animator. Yeah, that's where it started. This movie thing. I was like, man, this was fun to do. Maybe I want to do something else. Like, I wanted to do something more complex, more interesting. Hence, I started to think, this only editing for a game footage is not enough. I want to do something else.
Yeah.
I want to do something else. That's where it started. Good call, man. Good call. That's where it started, yeah. Oof. And here we are, 2019, 2 years and a half later.
Hopefully this is going to be well worth your time. I'm excited for it, I can tell you that.
It was worth every minute. It's been lots of fun to do. It also helps. I like to be creative. It's the first time I'm doing something like this, so don't expect perfection. It's not perfect, but
yeah.
it's. I did my best. I did try to make how to say it, with sense, with meaning, with interest. So hopefully it will be worth the wait of everyone. So yeah, before you watch the video, just make some popcorns. It's gonna be again 1 hour. So.
Yeah. So by chance, is it gonna be releasing this month, next month? Do we even have a release date?
Yeah. We're doing our best. I'm trying to make the animations to finish this month. So hopefully, in the end of this month or February. Maybe I would say February.
Okay.
I'm gonna use January to finish all the stuff and get this done.
Yeah. Well, I can definitely tell you from what I saw in the comments of that video, this is very anticipated. This was out of nowhere, and it's exciting.
It was. It was something that I was a bit paranoid because I wanted to keep this a maximum secret because I wanted to make a surprise for Sin.
Yeah.
Actually, the teaser wasn't even in my plans, but since it was taking a long time to finish the video, I decided, okay, I'm gonna make a teaser, and at least people like that will be expecting now.
Yeah.
And, a fair tribute. Yeah.
Well, that pretty much sums it up for me. If you have anything else you want to talk about or say, go ahead.
What else can we add? I don't. Right now I don't think. Yeah, that's it. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah.
All right. Well,
I'll just have to apologize because there were times I was. I'm not used to this kind of thing, so.
Yeah. No, don't worry about it. Trust me.
Anyway, I want to thank you for this lovely talk.
Of course.
And, I'm happy after this to do more with. Hopefully, I'll be more experienced on this. And yeah. Also, if you want, if you don't mind, I will share the link when you release the video.
Oh, of course.
It's okay for you, perfect.
Yeah. I want to generate as much hype around this video. I'm excited for it, and everyone else should be.
I hope it's worth it. I mean, yeah, I am saving myself when the video is released to that, because I'm sure there will be a lot of things to talk about when this is released.
Oh yeah, definitely. So yeah, thank you so much again for giving me this opportunity to talk about this with you.
I thank you for your invitation, and anytime you would like, give me a ring.
All right.
We'll do another talk.